every bit of information you have seen since you woke up today is dictated by a machine. Now, Yuval Noah Harari basically says they have hacked the operating system of humanity, right? So if I can hack into your brain, Hala, and tell you something that affects you for the rest of your life, whether positively or negatively, whether true or false, okay, then I've already managed to affect you. Interestingly, most of those machines that you've dealt with are programmed for one simple task, which is to manipulate you. Every one of those social media machines, for example, are out there with one objective, which is to manipulate your behavior to their benefit. And they're becoming really good at it. They're becoming so good at it, as a matter of fact, that most of the time we don't even realize that we have been brainwashed over and over and over by those, by the capability of those machines. So here's the interesting bit. I told you in the immediate risks that are coming up in the next, I believe they have started already, and I think they will start to become quite significant over the next year or two, and we will see my personal view, what I call patient zero, is the end of the truth in the US elections, right? So the reality of the matter is that with deepfakes, with the ability to manipulate information and data, with the ability to create. By next year, you have to be aware that a reel on Instagram can be created with no human in front of the camera very, very easily. Technologies like stability.ai, Stable Diffusion, for example, can now generate realistic human-like images in less, than a tenth of a second, and a video is 10 frames per second. So the next stage is clearly going to be video. There are multiple videos that have been created that you couldn't distinguish, the quality of from an actual iPhone video of you. Now, all of that. Think of face filters and how this is affecting our perception of real beauty. Okay, think of information and statistics using ChatGPT affecting the children's way of doing their homework. We are completely redesigned as a society, and we're not even talking about it. This is how far this has gone.
It is insane. And I definitely want to talk about those risks that you were talking about: immediate risk, job risks, existential risk down the line years later. So talk to us about the fact that AI can learn on its own. It can learn languages on its own. It can beat chess players and come up with moves that we've never taught it before, because a lot of people think about AI as something that just collects information and spits out information, but it can actually learn new things that humans don't even know. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, I mean, don't mix AI with old programming. AI simply is the idea. Let me give you a concrete example. There is a strategy game known as Go. Go is one of the most complex strategy games on the planet. It requires a very deep understanding of planning and crunching a lot of numbers and mathematics and so on. Very popular in Asia. And in our assessment, Go was the ultimate task that, like we had the Turing test for AI pretending to be a human and you not being able to figure out if it isn't. Go was sort of like that other milestone. If AI wins in Go, then Go is then AI is now the top gamer on the planet. Now, it was 5 years ago, I believe, that 10 years ahead of any estimate, that AlphaGo, again, DeepMind, basically became the world champion in Go. And AlphaGo had three versions to it. Version number 1 took a few months to develop. Okay, basically, we asked it to watch YouTube videos of people playing Go. Okay, and from that, it played against the second champion in the world, so the runner-up, if you want, and it won 5-1 or 5-2, if I remember, but it basically won. Okay, and that basically made AlphaGo number 2 in the world. And then we developed something called AlphaGo Master. And AlphaGo Master played against Lee, the world champion, and won. That was around a few months later. And then we developed another code that was called AlphaGo Zero. And AlphaGo Zero basically learned the game by playing against itself. So it never saw a human ever playing Go. Okay, it's just played against itself. So it would be the two opponents, and through the patterns of the game randomly, it would learn what wins and what loses. AlphaGo Zero, within 3 days, won against AlphaGo, the original. Within 21 days, won against AlphaGo Master. Okay, and became the world champion 1,000 games to 0 within 21 days. Now, when you understand that level of strategy, when Lee, the world champion, was playing against AlphaGo Master, there is something that you can Google that's known as Move 37. And Move 37 was that machine coming up with a move that is completely unlike anything humans understand. Okay, to the point that the world champion said, I don't know what this is doing. I need a 15 minutes break to understand. Right? It was a move of ingenuity, of intuition, of creativity, of very deep strategy, of very, very deep mathematical planning. And we never taught AlphaGo Master to do that. We never taught, the original games of Atari, DeepMind, to find the cornerstone in the breakout game, if you remember those Atari games. So it would find the cornerstone, throw the ball in there so that it hits the ball from the top. All of those things we don't teach the machines how to find, how to learn. And we call those emerging properties. And emerging properties are basically things that the machine learns on its own without us actually telling it at all to learn it. One of the famous ones was Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Alphabet, talks about Google's AI and how that AI they discovered, I was no longer at Google at the time, that it speaks Bengali. We never taught it Bengali. We never showed it data sets of Bengali. It just learns Bengali. ChatGPT is learning research chemistry. We never taught it research chemistry. We never wanted it to. It just learns, just like you and I, Hala. So if I ask you a question and you give me an answer, the answer might be right or wrong. It doesn't matter. But I can find out if the answer is right or wrong, at least by my perception. But I can never find out how you arrived at it. I don't know what happened in your brain to get to that answer. This is why in elementary school, in math tests, they ask the student to show the thinking they went through, right? So when you think about that, you realize that those machines are completely doing things that we don't tell them to do. Interestingly, however, the answer from a computer science point of view to the problem of a risk of AI is known as the solution to the control problem. So most computer scientists spent a lot of time trying to make AI safe. How do they make it safe? By including control measures within the code. Theoretically, by the way, I do not know of any AI developer that ever included control code within their code, because it takes time and effort, and it's not what they're paid for, basically. But here's the question: how do you control something that is bound to become 1 billion times smarter than you? I mean, think about it. ChatGPT 4 was 10 times smarter than ChatGPT 3.5. Okay, if you just assume that this pattern will repeat twice, there will be an AI within the next 1.5 to 2 years that in the task of knowledge and cognition of information is going to be at an IQ of 1,500. That's not even imaginable by human intelligence. We don't even, this is basically like, trying to explain quantum physics to a fly. That's the level of intelligence difference between us and them. Right? Yeah. Just like it's so difficult for someone like me who's an avid, has an avid love of physics. When I look at how someone like Einstein comes up with theory of relativity, I go like, man, I wish I had that intelligence, right? And that's the comparison between me and Einstein. Imagine if I compare myself to something 100 times smarter than Einstein. My prediction and the prediction of many other computer scientists is that by the year 2045, at the current trend, AI will probably be 1 billion times smarter than us. 1 billion with a B. So it's quite interesting when you really think about it, how the arrogance of humanity still imagines that it can control something that is 1 billion times smarter than us.